Welcome back to the She Inspires podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jade, board certified family medicine physician, wellness and weight loss specialist, owner of the membership medical practice in Las Vegas, Inspire Primary Care. And I am so excited for you to be back to the She Inspires podcast. This is our safe space for busy women looking to have conversations about balancing business and wellness. And I am so excited for today's episode. And that is something that I like to call peace protection strategies. There's been a lot going around about the soft life. If you've been, on social media or things like that, women in particular, are talking about their soft life era, SOFT, soft. And basically that the whole movement, or the idea behind this movement, from my understanding, is that, we have often glorified the hustle and the grind and women going hard, or women being very independent. And, we transitioned from back in the day to women being primarily homemakers. And not to say that women are not now, but, from women being homemakers and unable to, by law, have finances independent of a husband, for example. That historically is how the United States was set up. And I think we transitioned over time, and then we really took on the role of the complete opposite, the working woman, the one who can do it with or without a spouse. And it's been beautiful to see women become independently financially, and to see women build wealth with or without a spouse. That is beautiful. But we've also seen a lot of women, and, here at Inspire Primary Care, I primarily care for busy professionals and entrepreneurs and business owners and their teams in general, but I care for a lot of busy professional women in particular. Although men, I would love to care for you too, right? But I believe I just, naturally attract more women. But, and I get to hear the stories of burnout and the stories of not prioritizing, having the time, or figuring out how to prioritize health and wellness and self-care and rest. And I definitely have my own, I wouldn't say struggles, but my own challenges with that along my journey, which is why I love this podcast, where we have that space for conversations about, throughout our journey, how we are balancing business and wellness. And I can share how it's looking for me, the ups and the downs of that. I'm very transparent when things are, in the areas where I'm doing really well at balance. And then in the seasons where I'm like, hey, I've been struggling with this, but I'm making some of these adjustments and it's been helping. I mean, that's what this podcast is all about. Okay. And getting that perspective, not only from me, but from our guests as well, who are also busy women balancing business and wellness. So with the soft life, I am looking at, okay, I love a good soft life. I love to grind. I love to go hard. I am passionate about the things I'm called to do. That is healthcare in particular. One, that's ministry. That's my family, my spouse, my husband, Carlos, is the best. Being an amazing wife to him, being an amazing mom to Ava and Aaliyah, pouring into myself. I tell y'all all the time, you cannot pour from an empty cup. I cannot be the best mom, wife, child of God if I'm not pouring into myself, and pouring into myself spiritually and physically are a part of that, right? And I love the things that I'm called to do outside of that, which is medicine. I love that my childhood dream of becoming a physician has come true. And I absolutely love what we do at Inspire Primary Care, providing high quality concierge style healthcare in my hometown through our private practice has been literally a dream come true. And to see the health transformations in our community has been an absolute blessing. It's been a dream come true, literally. And so I love that. And I love the ways we're able to give back through Inspire LV and our nonprofit organization. And, all of it. It's been wonderful. However, I'm noticing that as our businesses grow, as more speaking engagement opportunities have come up for me, as all of it, our family is growing, as our girls are growing up, our parents are aging, just different things that just really fill up the schedule. I'm noticing that even though you can be in a season where things are wonderful, right? They're all really good things, but even those good things can be really overwhelming. And even those good things have to be organized and structured in a way where your peace is still protected. And that's definitely been the story and the journey that I'm going through and the season that I'm going through. And I wanted to share my top 3 peace protection strategies that I've been implementing and working on implementing in this season. And I hope that they will be helpful for you too, so we can all enjoy some of the soft life as well as enjoying the things we're called to do, right? So let me tell you number one, okay? So I'm going to go over 3 of the peace protection strategies that I've been implementing and will continue to implement in the new year if you're listening to this at the time of the recording. And so here's what they are. Number one is blank space on my calendar, non-negotiable blank space or white space on my calendar. That is going to be a priority for me in this season. I've already been looking for areas in my schedule. I've had to make some tough decisions. They haven't been popular decisions with everyone, but I've had to make tough decisions and look at my calendar. I literally took a piece of paper, wrote down my schedule Monday through Friday or Sunday to Sunday. Like I wrote down what things are scheduled. And when I tell you that 7 days a week, I had very little blank space on my calendar outside of when I'm sleeping. Most of my day throughout the 7 days were scheduled and booked. And while that sounds really great on paper, like, oh, great, your businesses are growing and, your social and relationships and all these things are going well and your kids are in these activities and all of those are beautiful things, but that is not sustainable long term to have no blank space on the calendar. And I was quickly realizing this to be true. And so I had to look at my calendar and make some challenging decisions and say, what am I going to remove from my calendar to create non-negotiable blank space to help protect my peace, to help me be able to recharge, to be able to have just flexibility in, do I want to rest? Do I want to watch a movie? Do I want to research other things? Like, what do I need? Like simply being able to say, what do I need in this time? And it's non-negotiable. It's blank. It's empty. So I want to ask you, like, what has blank space looked like on your calendar? Do you have blank space? I'm talking to my busy ladies, right? Like, do you have non-negotiable blank space on your calendar where you will not be booked and where you are not always booked and where you're like, I can do whatever my mind, body, spirit needs or wants to do in this space because it's my non-bookable space? Like, do you have that? I know I did not have that, and I'm just transitioning into having that. And I can already start to feel the difference. I've been less tired. I've been less irritable. I've been just a better self because I'm now figuring out how to prioritize rest. Like, I'm not a person who has to figure out how to prioritize grinding. I'm not a person who has to figure out how to prioritize like getting it done, working, studying, learning. Like, these are things Dr. Jade by nature will do and loves to do. But what I personally have to be intentional about doing is rest, is letting my mind, body, and spirit just be without a to-do list, without an agenda, without a schedule. And so I'm excited that I am building the muscle of rest and building the muscle of blank space in particular to pour into the area of rest. So if you're like me and you're like, oh, that's something that would be helpful to protect my peace, add that. But if that's not something specifically that you're like, oh, well, I know how to rest and I have blank space, then what are other areas that you have that you're like, I need to look at this area when it comes to protecting my peace? So personalize this, okay? But I'm sharing, the things I've really needed to do in this season. So my peace protection strategy number 2 has been saying no, and creating the blank space on that calendar has been because I have then had to say no, right? So it kind of transitions into this one. So not only am I saying no to some prior commitments that I made that needed to be removed from my calendar, but I also had to say no to incoming opportunities. Like, I recently got asked to speak at a specific organization that just didn't align with my mission. And so I had to say no. I got asked by, a specific organization if I would create content from them, but it didn't align with my values, and it didn't, the time didn't align, right? The timing and the amount and all of it, it didn't make sense to take take up space and time away from my rest and my peace and my family to do some of these things. So saying no and building the muscle of saying no and being okay, not only, potentially hurting someone's feelings, right? Because people don't love to hear no, but realizing that when we say no, that you're then saying yes to other things that do fill your cup and that do allow you to rest and that do recharge you. So when I'm saying no, I'm not going to do that, I'm saying yes to my rest. I'm saying yes to my family. I'm saying yes to my spiritual time. I'm saying yes to my fitness time. So yeah, I'm building the muscle of saying no. That doesn't necessarily come natural for me. If it comes natural for you, amazing. But it is something that I had to build a muscle of saying no, especially around things that I really do enjoy, like the opportunities that have been coming. Some of them I do enjoy and some of them would be really nice, but every opportunity isn't meant for this season. Everything that's paying, money doesn't make it a yes. Okay. It really has to be, for me, prayed on and really reflective on what I'm saying yes to and what has to be a no in this season. So, that's the number 2. What things do you need to say no to in this season and in this, new year that will help with your peace protection? And number 3 for me has been not only having, but revamping and being consistent in my personalized wellness plan. And that has looked like, primary care, making sure I'm seeing my doctor, making sure my primary care health screenings are up to date with my blood work and making sure I have healthy vitals, making sure that, here at our practice at Inspire Primary Care, we follow our trademarked method called the Inspired Health Method, which is our method of creating a personalized wellness plan. And I have myself on my personalized wellness plan. And so actually looking at it and making sure that I have it up to date with what my health and wellness goals are in this season, right? Some examples of mine are prioritizing my nutrition, where my goal is to primarily consume whole food, health, plant-based nutrition. I'm not a strict vegan or a strict vegetarian. I'm not a strict anything, but most of the foods I eat, I try to make sure that it comes from the earth. And one of my things that I really like are sweets. And so, having some healthy boundaries around how many sweets I'm consuming, that is just so my goals of health and wellness are what I'm consuming is in alignment with that, right? So when I'm fueling my body with primarily whole food nutrition, I'm then able to have the energy to be the best mom I can be and the best physician I can be, and to have that longevity and have the energy that I need, right? Another one of mine is, exercising. I would love to exercise at least 5 days a week because my overall goal is most days of the week having some form of scheduled exercise. And I'm not just talking about movement throughout the day or when I'm chasing the kids or if I'm sweeping the floor. No, I'm talking about scheduled exercise time. I would love to say most days of the week, which would be at least 5 days a week. But in this season, and again, it's important to look at what is realistic in this season. And so in this season, if I'm exercising at least 3 times a week, that's a really solid plan for me. And anything over 3 is extra credit in this season. And so just honoring and giving myself grace and saying, wow, at least 3 times a week, let's exercise and let's have it be by yourself, where it's time where you're pouring into yourself. We still may go on family walks or go to the park or, do things as a family that would be considered movement throughout the week, but to really truly pour into myself, I consider at least 3 times a week of scheduled exercise by myself. And for me in this season, that most commonly is going to be going to my home gym downstairs around 6 a.m. before my kids wake up, and using that 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. time frame to pour into myself, first by prayer and spirituality, spending time with God, followed by working out, which in this season is typically strength workouts or bike boot camps or tread boot camps through the Peloton app. So I'm just sharing, what that's looking like in my season. And then the third thing for my personalized wellness plan is rest. Okay. And my rest is that blank space we talked about, that saying no we talked about, and really figuring out what my rest regimen needs to look like in this season. So those are my top 3 things on my personalized wellness plan. If you're in the Las Vegas area and you're like, I don't have a personalized wellness plan, I don't have a quality primary care physician, I don't know, I'm not up to date on my health screenings, my pap smear, my mammogram, my colonoscopy, my labs, my vital signs haven't been checked lately, and I am not on a personalized wellness plan, like if that's you and you're in the Las Vegas area, join me at Inspire Primary Care because I want to help keep you healthy. And that is what I specialize in. I'm a wellness focused physician, and this is what I do. And I absolutely love seeing our members here at Inspire Primary Care transition to a healthier lifestyle and a healthier weight by having high quality wellness focused primary care. So that's inspireprimarycare.com. No I in front of Inspire if you're in the Las Vegas area. Also, if you're in the Las Vegas area, join me if you're listening to this at the time of this recording in the new year in 2025, January 29th. I'll be the main speaker at the Women Decision Makers brunch in town. Okay. You can look up Women Decision Makers or look at my page at Dr. Jade MD on Instagram. I'll be sharing and reminding you guys about it, but it's a free brunch and I'll be the featured speaker and we will be doing personalized wellness plans. It's a wellness focused event and I was asked to talk about wellness with the women there. If you're a busy professional women, this event is for women professionals, but come join us. We will be doing the Inspired Health Method together, and I'll be giving a workshop on us doing the Inspired Health Method and making our personalized wellness plans together. So join us if you're in the Las Vegas community, you're a busy professional woman. It's a free brunch, and it's going to be great, and I can't wait to see you there. That's the Women Decision Makers brunch on January 29th. Go to Instagram at Dr. Jade MD to learn more about that, okay? Or DM me, okay? So yeah, I want you guys to have health and wellness plans. I want you guys to have quality primary care. And I want you to look at what are the piece protection strategies that you as an individual really need in this season. For me, that's been more blank space on my calendar. For me, that's been saying no. For me, that's been making sure I am consistent with my personalized wellness plan and being up to date on my primary care. But what does that look like for you? And let's just reflect on that and let's implement, okay? And so connect with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I am wishing you peace, protection in the new year. Okay. I'm wishing the soft life in addition to attaining all the things you're called to do. All right. But I am wishing peace and health and prosperity on you, especially in the new year. So, comment below. Let me know what you enjoyed from this episode. Leave the podcast a review. I want to hear how we're doing. If you know other busy professional women who would benefit from conversations about balancing business and wellness, share the podcast with them. Okay. We want them to join the She Inspires fam and join the social media fam. We're at Dr. Jade MD at Instagram. We're also on YouTube, but definitely join our family at both of those places. And I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the She Inspires podcast.